When 7-year-old Princess Charlotte witnessed a royal guard collapse during a spring outing, her instinctive response revealed a maturity and compassion that extended far beyond her years. In a poignant incident that showcased the depth of compassion and maturity in young Princess Charlotte, the 7-year-old royal found herself in a situation that transcended her age. During a spring outing in the royal grounds of London, Charlotte often enjoyed the serene atmosphere, free from the constraints and rules of palace life. However, on this particular day, the warmth of the sun became a backdrop for an unexpected crisis. As she strolled through the gardens, her attention was drawn to a royal guard who appeared unsteady on his feet, his complexion pale beneath his tall black hat. The guard, typically a symbol of strength and stability, seemed to sway dangerously, prompting concern in Charlotte's heart. Suddenly, without warning, he collapsed onto the gravel path, the thud echoing in the otherwise peaceful surroundings. Panic surged through her as she rushed to his side, instinctively asking, "Sir, are you all right?" Her voice was filled with concern, but also a calmness that belied the chaos around her. The guard's eyes fluttered open briefly, revealing confusion but no recognition. Charlotte sensed the gravity of the situation. This was not just a case of heat exhaustion. The oppressive heat of the day had been particularly brutal, affecting many, but something deeper seemed to weigh on this man. Remembering her first aid training from her tutors, she quickly reached into her small bag, retrieving a handkerchief and a tiny bottle of water. She dampened the cloth and gently dabbed it on the guard's forehead, her hand steady despite the rising anxiety within her. "Someone please help," she called out, her voice unwavering as she continued to care for the fallen guard. Staff members nearby rushed to assist, but Charlotte had already begun to make a difference. She tilted the guard's head slightly, ensuring he could breathe more easily, her instincts guiding her actions. As the staff arrived, she stepped back, allowing the trained personnel to take over, yet her heart was heavy with a sense of urgency. As the guard was lifted onto a stretcher, Charlotte couldn't shake the feeling that his condition was more serious than mere fatigue. His pale face and weak groans indicated that he was grappling with burdens beyond physical exhaustion. In that moment, a sense of determination blossomed within her. She resolved to understand what had caused this man's collapse, knowing that it wouldn't simply fade away. "I want to come," Charlotte insisted, her voice firm as she walked alongside the stretcher, embodying a maturity beyond her years. Her heart ached as she recalled fragmented words the guard had murmured, something about Bills and his son. These thoughts weighed heavily on her, compelling her to investigate further. "What lay beneath the surface of this monk stoic exterior?" The staff exchanged uncertain glances, but ultimately did not question her resolve. Inside the infirmary, the doctor began a preliminary assessment while Charlotte stood quietly, observing intently. The guard remained weak and barely responsive, slipping in and out of consciousness. His earlier murmurs echoed in her mind, revealing a more profound struggle. "Can't let them down," he whispered, and in that moment, Charlotte realized that this was not merely a physical collapse. It was a cry for help from a man burdened by responsibilities that extended far beyond his role as a guard. As the doctor assessed the guard, Charlotte listened closely, her heart tightening with each revelation. The guard's son was gravely ill, and financial hardships were clearly taking a toll. Despite his own struggles, he had continued to fulfill his duties, showcasing an admirable yet heartbreaking commitment to his family. Charlotte understood that this was more than just a health emergency. It was a moment that demanded her compassion and resolve. Determined to help, Charlotte began to think about ways to support the guard and his family. She learned from palace staff that small gestures of kindness could have a profound impact. Inspired, she decided to send comforting gifts to the guard's young son, including a soft blanket and art supplies. For the guard, she chose a personalized journal, believing it could offer him a means to process his emotions and burdens. Alongside these gifts, Charlotte penned a heartfelt letter, expressing gratitude for the guard's service and acknowledging the silent battles he faced. She wanted him to know that his sacrifices had not gone unnoticed, and that he was appreciated. As she sealed the envelope with the royal crest, Charlotte felt a sense of purpose welling within her. This was not merely an act of kindness, it was a commitment to ensuring that those who served the royal family felt valued and recognized. Ultimately, Princess Charlotte's actions illuminated the importance of empathy and understanding in a world often focused on appearances. Her determination to make a meaningful impact demonstrated that even at a young age, one can inspire change and offer hope to those in need. In her heart, she knew this was just the beginning, and she was prepared to advocate for those who silently bore their burdens, ensuring their stories were heard and honored.